Hi, I'm Kevin Drinkall.
Hi, and I'm Michel Nicolai, and we welcome you to Sizol Networks podcast.
We've been in the network industry for over 15 years, and in these podcasts we want to try and untangle the world of networking, debunk some of those myths, explain some real-world examples along the way, to help you make better choices about selecting the right tech, product, and even help you guys build faster, more reliable, scalable networks, or just to keep your kids happy at home. Well, welcome back for another episode, and in this episode we're going to talk about some of the trends, but welcome back from your break, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
So, and today we have Hugh Simpson joining us.
It's good to be back, thank you.
Yeah, good to see you here back on the podcast show.
And Happy New Year to everybody as well.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So let's talk about some of those trends in 2026, but before we do that, maybe we should have a bit of a recap on, did we predict well in 2025? Now that's what we need to look at, right? So last year we looked at some of the trends, and I think we started off the year by talking about Wi-Fi 7, multi-gig as well. So what happened? Did it work?
I would say Wi-Fi 7 worked. We've certainly come out with a full portfolio. We've certainly seen the uptake, etc., moving in that direction. So absolutely, yeah. I think we scored on that one. I think that's a positive. We moved to Wi-Fi 7. And
multi-gig. I mean, the trend started. I think. How can I say the drive of Wi-Fi 7 is the key to driving.
Yeah, that's
multi-gig.
for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
So with Wi-Fi 7, we did see multi-gig start to take off, but I think it has lots more to go.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot more to go with multi-gig, and it just didn't really pick up or ramp up as much as we thought it would do. So
no, but I think one that we definitely missed was, and I think a lot of people out there missed, was Microsoft Windows end of life in Windows 10, and at the beginning forcing a lot of people to really upgrade their machines.
And they had to change their budget, and choose for something else, and you can only spend your money once. So, that was something that impacted a lot of things.
So Hugh and I, we were looking at some of the stats in the summer period. I think I remember something like desktops were, in Europe, had grown like 45% in sales.
And also CPUs as well. Again, the AI influence has really driven that market as well. But CPU and components, PC components, has really gone up.
Yeah, if you talk to distributors, you hear the same thing. Yeah, those products, they went crazy. Laptops, desktops, and components, like Hugh is saying, it is it's a large numbers. that we saw.
What do we predict for 2026? For me, I think we have sort of 4 key points.
4 key points would be good.
So.
I think we should kick off with. I definitely think cloud-first networking is definitely the trend on the cards for 2026. What does that actually mean? It means that people are driving their manageability and connectivity services into the cloud.
And it's not new, right? It's not something that's new, that's come out and is new and funky, etc. It's just the increase. More and more people we're going to see going for this cloud networking and cloud first. We've heard the expression Wi-Fi first for a long time. Now cloud first for networking.
But that's not only people, I think a lot of appliances are also still moving in that direction, So cloud is still an ongoing thing also for next year.
When we look at some of the stats for the whole channel, 70% of SMBs, their workloads are projected to be running in cloud or some hybrid environment over 2026, right? So clearly it's not just networking, right? It's also everything else as well that goes around it. So there's still a trend to move to cloud. Like you say, it's not new. It's just continuing that growth and that pattern.
Yeah, cloud's been there. We've already seen the adoption of AWS, Azure, SASE-based applications, etc., and everything else has gone in that direction, right? So, networking is now really maturing up in that space, right? And it should be your first to go, right? It should be your first point of call.
As customers realize that I would say this fixes many of their challenges, and I think we should talk about in a bit of depth when we go into some of the other key points as well. I think some people don't realize they're actually using that much cloud today anyway. And when they look at how it benefits them versus doing, on premise, etc., then the migration is it's a straightforward.
Yeah. And absolutely, when you've started using it, see all of its benefits, see its functionality, it is just, why haven't I done this earlier, right?
Well, I mean, it allows you to leverage from AI, right, to give us sort of positive impacts on performance, especially for networking from our point of view. So we have Nebula, our cloud networking platform, but for us, we utilize the AI tools to, simplify, but still give all that accessibility to all those controls, right? And that really improves the performance around what the product does, right?
And where are these AI tools hosted?
Well, they're all in the cloud. Of course.
Yeah. And what about security as well, with AI? It is...
I think, you can't really do real security without leveraging from cloud in some way, right? I mean, if you look at even the standard functions in a cybersecurity solution, you need sandboxing, content filtering, application control, all these elements to keep them up to date. They need to leverage from cloud in the first place, right?
Yeah, and the AI elements that are within them as well. That drives the more security, the better we have.
Yeah, and also that also helps us with those key performance things, right? Because as the need for cybersecurity increases, the connectivity speed, the demand, the amount of users,
complexity. Don't forget about the complexity.
Absolutely, yeah. So and AI gives us that approach where it makes it accessible to everyday users, right? So that they can use security and protect themselves. And we're in a world where you got high performing networks now, right? So which brings us on to our next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as you mentioned, we started with cloud, but if you look at the data centers, the growth there, to accommodate all our requests that we do to the AI and to resolve things or make things easier or have quicker foundings or anything, there's a big impact on that as well,
Well, I mean, if you think about the data center side, right, it's a good reflection of the demand that's coming from cloud networking or even from cloud applications. Over this year, it's estimated to be like $50 billion US dollars.
That's a lot of money.
In investment in this growth, right? So.
Surely that's just your paycheck.
I wish.
Living a dream.
If only. It's more like £50.
Yes, you're right.
No, but high performing networks are obviously going to come, right? This is a continuing trend from last year, right? We're going to see it continue again into this year. We're moving far more into Wi-Fi 7, for instance. That gives us the speed, the density, the reliability that we're all needing to be within our networks.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to see this multi-gig continue. So again...
Yeah, because it needs to be connected as well, So,
and again, we're seeing that jump, 2.5 gig to 10 gig to 25 gig to 100 gig, etc. And that's becoming more accessible to our SMB partners, right?
Well, I mean, the drive is to go wireless first, right, in everything. And ultimately, the access point needs to be connected to take the load, right? So, and that means that we don't want that bottleneck. And we said it last year, and we're going to say it again. We've gone past that 1 gig barrier by a long shot now. So,
yeah, but think about how fast laptops and desktops, 2.5 gigabit as a default. Yeah, it's getting more and more. Yeah, if you buy a new laptop or PC, it is now we see more and more and multi-gig already on those devices. And we need that, of course, to let that technology grow.
I mean, of course, if it comes with even comes with a network adapter on it, right? So, or they leverage from the latest Wi-Fi 7 chipset, right? So, and, now we're seeing like the 1 gig, the 2.5 gig, the 5 gig and the 10 gig. And at some point, you'll see 25 gig in switching as well, right?
Yeah, and the 100 gig as well, which we've got already. So
yeah, absolutely. So we start to see that the backhaul part is now leveling up with the demand for the front end of Wi-Fi 7 as it continues to drive, right?
And it's not just speeds, feeds, etc. It's optimization of the traffic. The internet will always be a slight bottleneck for us in a lot of cases, and we need to optimize that. We need to understand it. We need to have those security devices that have that and allow those high performing networking to continue.
Yeah, so I mean, in our portfolio, we have the USG Flex H, right? That reflects that. So that has multi-gig on board and even 10 gig on some of the higher end models, right? So we see that that's there in terms of performance as well. And I think when you talk about the Wi-Fi 7 element, right, to get that speed, you're now seeing the use of used techniques like multi-link operation or MLO, and using that tri-band, the all three bands that are now available as well to us as devices start to play catch up as well, right? This year, I would say we will start to hear about Wi-Fi 8.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we will. It's kind of, there's little noises out there, etc. So we'll definitely hear about Wi-Fi 8 this year.
Still just not quite ready yet. So, but anyway, there will be rumblings of Wi-Fi 8 this year.
And again, if we look back in history, if we look back in time and analysis on our networks and on our cloud platform, the number of clients is going to grow as well, right? I was half expecting that to happen last year, and now this year I expect that to explode in Wi-Fi 7 clients finally appearing.
Yeah.
I'd like to say they've been here a long time. I think they've been here a long time, right? But actually, when we look at the data and we look at what people are using, it just isn't happening. People are still using some of those old devices. So again, we can build these high performance networks, but the client needs to have the right connectivity to utilize it.
Yeah, so I mean, and obviously, like we'd said before, some of that cybersecurity functionality will take center stage in optimizing the traffic, right, and giving us that quality of service over application management.
So we can definitely say a trend, and a continuing trend will be that we're still using Teams and Zoom this year, right? And we will still be saying your mic is still muted, right?
Yeah.
But Skype's gone.
But Skype's definitely gone.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and I think some of the other areas where definitely, from our point of view, we've got Nebula as our cloud-first networking approach, right? But the network automation is a key element as well. And I think that trend continues, right? Because as Michelle mentioned, right, they're getting more complicated, more complex. Yep. But I would say not. Also, the skill set is also not there as well, right? So we need to find a balance between how we're going to use that automation,
and especially in our businesses, SMB market, we need simple solutions to build sometimes complicated things, and if we can help with Nebula to establish that, why not? We do a lot of things to help our customers to make it more easy to build their network.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely there's a trend for this network as a code where we're doing automatic configurations and deployments, right? And also where we do some kind of centralized policy-based configurations and even automatic provisioning, right? It's all very key process.
Yeah, that's how we started it, to do all the configuration virtually and then bring it to the customer, plug it on, and you're up and running in 2 minutes. That's the thing that we want to achieve.
Automation just makes those mundane tasks so much easier, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the cornerstone of Nebula, right? So.
And makes Nebula sexy again, right? Or networking, sexy again, right? Because that's what it needs to be, It's
that's the new slogan, is it?
Yeah, that's the new make Nebula sexy.
Nice. But I mean, we often have a joke, right? But we shouldn't rely on somebody checking dashboards or just looking at a thing. We need some automation to try and fix the problem, try to auto-correct the problem, and then notify somebody if something doesn't work, right? So
let the reseller know before the customers started to pick up the phone, which they probably won't do, right? Because the trend is that I text everything, can message everybody, etc., rather than actually physically speak to anybody. But again, the automation just produces that.
Well, in the end, it gives us, if you're a managed service provider, right, it allows us as an MSP to deliver efficiency, which obviously ultimately means better margins, right? Or if cost-effective approach to delivering the services, because ultimately you don't want to spend lots of time fault finding. You need to get to the answers as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah.
So, and the whole idea is fewer manual tasks, fewer deployment issues, and faster deployments. and less downtime. I mean, obviously that comes down to reliability of product plus managing the product, right?
Yeah, but think about our firmware auto deployment thing. That's a great thing. That saves a lot of time and issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we did some calculation, right, where it saves you, like hundreds of hours depending on how many devices you've got, a year. So using cloud, just that alone makes it worthwhile, right? And not to mention all the other functionality that we add in that can automate. You want to get away from those common questions or common calls on the last thing on Friday that my Wi-Fi is not working, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you could see it, the eyes rolled at that point, right? Yeah, we've all received those calls. 5:00, the network's down.
Yeah.
Why didn't you call earlier? Why didn't you alert? What did you do? Yeah. We just don't want that to happen anymore.
Yeah, and by leveraging AI in the Nebula Cloud, for example, for our solution, I think that's definitely a trend, is looking at tools consolidation and how they're going to bring it all together. I mean, they call it tool sprawl, right? To reduce the amount of tools, and also you don't have to invest in so much retraining as well, right? And one of the things that, certainly for Zyzel, is that the Nebula platform, it's very intuitive. So actually, the amount of training required is very, very minimal, right, for everyday tasks.
And if you don't know, ask AI. Yeah,
yeah, you use intent.
Even there,
great tool. Finds those oddities which are hidden away that you think, where is it?
Yeah. You just type it in and ask for it, and it'll point you in the right direction. So we have all those kind of tools built into there, right? And a really key thing that's going to happen in 2026 is people need to be absolutely application aware, which you need to leverage.
You should know what's happening on your network.
That's right, yeah. I mean, like we said before, things are getting more complicated. It's harder to understand where things are, what things are. And certainly center stage of that is cybersecurity box, basically.
Exactly. Take the USG Flex H in there with your gold security pack. And then you can see everything what is in your network, and you can manage that. You can control it. You can, let's say, bandwidth manage it. So yeah, that's the way to go.
We talk about these high performance networking, etc., and then you've got to understand, great. And all of these clients are joining that network, but the internet hasn't particularly grown or gone alongside this growth on the LAN. So therefore, we've got to understand the applications, and that really is key.
Yeah, and I think that optimization comes from using key tools like AI, bandwidth management tools, and that's basically the cybersecurity box doing all the work.
And prioritizing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it might be a bit of an old thing, it might be something that happened 20 years ago, right? But now it's back again, right? And, understanding these applications, managing them, bandwidth limiting them, prioritizing, and also, let's be certain on this, blocking some as well.
Yeah, not maybe only on the gateway, but even on the edge of your network, For instance, control it on your Wi-Fi access point, for instance, to cut it down there already before it enters the network, that could be a really good solution to go for.
Yeah, we have Connect and Protect that you can add to the access point, right, where you can do some of these elements as well, right? So, like you say, you don't even have to let it get to the gateway. You can let it, really manage it before it enters the network, so you're not carrying it across that network as well. And also, there are things that, require other types of security, like IoT devices, right, and other applications which are much needier in their requirements. And whether we realize it or not, we've moved to the cloud with a lot of applications, right?
Yeah, so we could say, is IoT a trend for this year, or was it actually last year? I think it was last year. The amount of IoT devices that suddenly appeared onto people's networks, it was really important. And again, you want that prioritization of that data,
And the security.
And the security, definitely.
Yeah, because that's something I think a lot of people didn't really, I wouldn't say not pay attention to, but just didn't really understand the impact it can have, because they're the devices that are often quite vulnerable, a lot of those sensors.
And we saw last year, we saw a couple of those legislations come out trying to lock that down, trying to improve that security, right? Because, I can make an IoT device very simply, right, and very easily, and security wasn't on the forefront. It's got to be now, right? So this year, if the device doesn't have it, then the network should, right?
Everyone is familiar with endpoint protection on their laptop, yeah? Because at the endpoint, you need some kind of protection, but you cannot run a full suite on your IoT device. Yeah, that's impossible.
Well, as it doesn't become an IoT anymore.
No,
Full PC.
no, yeah. So, but it is a network device. Yeah. So,
but I mean,
that's the thing.
You can't use one type of protection. When we talk about cybersecurity from our sort of point of view, right? We're talking about the network security, how it goes in and out of the network. Of course, you should use that in tandem with endpoint. Right, that's just another tool.
Yeah,
and even on networking, there's not one tool. Right, there's several different things that you will need to use. And actually, one of the things that we did very well, I think, last year was bundle it all together into a single license.
Yeah, that just takes simplicity, and that's kind of all what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Has been trying to simplify and make it easy,
more efficient.
Yeah, but without losing that complex technology, right? So
correct.
So you still have that, how can I say, get under the bonnet and change all those function settings, but let this platform do it, and that's what leveraging from cloud means. And I would say also one of the things, certainly from our point of view, when you look at Nebula as a platform, the only way to get the devices to talk to each other, to work out what to do on a network, is to work in the cloud. Lots of companies can make a platform that just simply gives you access to the device or manage the basic settings. But when you start to talk about, I've got a security device and I need it to do something with the access point and I need it to understand the switching and I need it all that together to do something to control your network, that's not really possible without using or leveraging cloud, right? So.
Yeah, and even connecting to other platforms, we can use APIs, to bring those kind of information in our ecosystem.
Yeah, which gives you access to things.
But that's only possible because we're in the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and it gives you access to things like performance, and you can even achieve SLAs, and all this traffic shaping, and even reporting becomes much easier to understand. If you're in a managed service provider, delivering information to your customer about what you've been up to and what you've been doing for them is also pretty crucial as well, right?
Yeah, and we have quite some good tools that we can inform people how to do this, on MSP level, but also on security level, on specific hardware, we can do that. So, and that is key, to find out the real cause of the issue. Then that kind of information is key, but in a way that is understandable.
Absolutely.
So you can ask the AI, if it's too complicated, can you simplify it, with these and these numbers in? And that's what we can offer with the cloud information that we have today.
So anyway, I think we're going to stick to the 4, right, this year.
So give us a reminder then, Kev. What are the 4 trends? So when we come to 2027 and we review this, what are they?
So I would say cloud-first networking by far will be a crucial point for many companies to address or look into. They might not realize they're doing that today, but this will become the norm and it will keep continuing to grow. High performance networks is definitely always going to be a case. Next year, this year, it's always... This year we'll see a significant shift to at least standardizing on 2.5 gig, right? So, and I think Wi-Fi 7 will become the de facto for delivering that speed, density, reliability, and also being able to leverage some of those technologies like MLO. Inside that, I think MSPs will start to look at how they manage their network more efficiently, and they're looking for tools, so they want less tool sprawl, and I think cloud will give them that as well, right? So network automation will become part of that process. So network automation, I think, is what more and more customers are looking to do, and I think that's definitely going to be a trend. Those tools that we have, for example, will definitely be key for us, right, as we move forward. And I think so application awareness, actually, I think knowing what's on your network will be very important for customers. And I think that, the security, like I said, will become very key to that, the box, right?
That sounds really great, actually.
Yeah.
And really looking forward to this year, to be honest, because I think, these are all realistic. They're all there. They're not, it's not pie in the sky, for instance. It's not...
I don't think so.
And I think it's really just building on the foundation that's already out there, right? And just seeing them come to fruition.
I think it's also for the reseller a big change, in how to run it traditionally, because all the resellers become more of an MSP, like doing the service for their customer through the cloud. So it's also a big change for the reseller, how to deal with their customer. I think that's a big impact for them as well, to make that change.
Yeah, and how to become more responsive, I would say.
Exactly.
Efficiently, because obviously...
Yeah.
I mean, scaling out and being more efficient, it has to come from using cloud.
And
cloud
I think
first,
with our Nebula platform, we can help our reseller to make that transition, to make that easier, to become a good MSP for the future, to help their customers even better.
Well, I think if you combine Nebula with the technologies that's in the actual hardware, from Wi-Fi, security, switching, and even,
all those components are key.
5G, right? Yeah. The reliability, added into the response times that you can achieve, and the scalability by automating tasks. When you add all those together, I think that really makes it an efficient tool and fits a lot of what we are predicting as trends, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, well, thank you all for listening, and join us for our next one.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and till next time.
Thank you.